So here we are again in the kitchen. Don't really know why I'm in the kitchen, no particular reason really. I think it's because I've just filmed another video and I did it here because I needed a table. And the one I'm filming after this, I need a table, is what I'm doing. I'm a busy man tonight. This is just a quick talky video of why I have made a change after, well, I think what must be over 10 years. So this is what I'm here to talk about. Phones and networks actually, networks and phones, and why you should definitely shop around. And I think this is the first time you'll ever hear me say this, but why you should definitely not buy a top of the range Samsung. Now for the last 10 years, I think over 10 years, I've always had a Samsung phone and I've been on the O2 network. Now, why do you ask? Because O2 has always given me good coverage. Well, what's happening with my voice there? I don't know. O2 has always given me very good coverage, and Samsung are the best in the market. I can hear all you Apple. Yeah, but no, they're not, because Apple buy all their shit in, and half of it they buy from Samsung. So shut up. But that's irrelevant. I'm not even getting into the whole Android Apple debate. Apple sucks. That's all you need to know. Move on. But we're not talking about that anyway. So, why have I ditched Samsung and O2 after over 10 years? And it's quite simple. And they're just not looking after their customers. Let me explain. So, like I said, for years and years and years, I have been with O2 and I've been with Samsung. Now, let me start with Samsung first. I've had Samsung. I've always had pretty much a flagship phone. I believe them to be the best. I had the S2, S4. Did I have an S6? S6. S8 Plus, and then a Note 9. And then I didn't upgrade. I mean, a couple of things happened. I mean, first they annoyed me because they made a big deal of keeping the headphone jack when Apple removed it, and then removed it. And then basically they've just gone a little bit Apple. The prices have just gone really high, and I just think they're good phones, but they're not worth 2 to 2.5, 3 times something you can get from a different manufacturer that's got pretty much the same spec. And this is the thing. I've always been willing to pay a little bit more for Samsung because, you know, there's a lot of quality there. But it, you know, and like with the foldable phones, you can say, yeah, they're perhaps worth a little bit more, you know. So sort of you can justify that sort of just over £1,000, £1,200 sort of price tag. But for like an S20 or 21 Ultra or whatever the hell we're on now, I don't think you can, because it's not. It's a good phone. It's a very good phone, but it's not really that much better than what I've actually got. And some of the other phones on the market. And this is why I've ditched Samsung, because they've just gone a little bit Apple. They're giving you less and they're charging you more. You know, you've lost your headphone jack, you've lost your charger, you don't even get the option to have a charger. Yeah, you know. And I can understand, you know, they're saying like, well, you know, it's to try and cut down on this and whatever. That's fine, but it should still be an option. And they've just gone very Apple in the way they do things. And there's a reason I don't like Apple, and that's partly because, one, I don't like their product that much, but two, I don't like the way they operate. So it's like, well, if you're just going to do exactly the same, then I'll go to another manufacturer, which is why I've basically moved from Samsung. And there are some really good phones out there. You got, I mean, this one is from Oppo, and this is really good. The specs on it are really good. It's very fast. It's got a high refresh rate, lots of RAM, a good screen. Yeah, it's a little bit smaller than my Note, but I've got used to it now. It's fine, and I've been really happy with it. There are also some great phones from Motorola, Lenovo. Oh God, who else? I had a load of in my head. LG are, I think leaving the phone market, but some of their phones are pretty good still, so have a look. They do one that's called the Wing. The specs on it are reasonable, but it's the reason to buy that phone is just the fact that it's so cool. I would have had one of those apart from the fact that I can't buy my phone outright because I don't have the money. But yeah, so I would say that if you're a Samsung user, stop and look at some of the alternatives because it's going to save you quite a bit of money, and they are in most cases almost, if not just as good. But there is some really good stuff out there, so definitely worth having a look elsewhere. So why have I decided then after 10 years to not only just ditch my phone manufacturer but also ditch my network? And that's quite simple. O2 has become incredibly expensive to buy from. And if you're having a handset with them as well, like I do, then they are offering a standard only 36-month contracts, and I won't have a 36-month phone contract. It's just the phones, none of the phones across any of the networks are really good enough to quite last that long. So 24 months is the maximum that I will do. And if you bring it down to like a 24-month contract, then the price is even more astronomical. It's just absolutely ridiculous. They are charging far too much. If you are with O2, seriously, look elsewhere. They are very expensive right now. I've actually gone for 3, which I never thought I would do because I've never been a big fan of 3. Coverage has always been a little bit patchy, but it's pretty good now, and I get exactly the same coverage I get with O2 everywhere but one location, where even with O2 it was spotty and sporadic at the very best. With 3 it's pretty much non-existent, but it doesn't really make much difference. It's just basically a pub I go to once a week, so I can live with that. 3 offered actually they didn't offer the deal I wanted. I was going to go with a different network and a different phone, but then there was a whole complication. But I won't even go into that because it's just it'll fry my brain again. But in the end, I went with this phone, which is an Oppo Find F something or other, and on 3, and it's saving me a lot of money, and it's working perfectly fine. So yeah. This is why I've, after 10 years, left O2 and Samsung, and why you should definitely be looking at your phone and network too, especially if you are with O2 and Samsung. So anyway, that was just a quick cautionary tale. Shop around and make the best decision for you. Thank you for stopping by, and I'll catch you next time.
Jet plane headed up to the sky, spread wings and the clouds getting